are on the 5th day of March. We were out here cutting these limbs down last week of February. The last one we cut down was on the 28th day of February. And you've seen through the trail cams the attractiveness of it. And as they ate back the new growth, the deer moved on. And in this cold weather, it's about, right now we got a wind chill probably about 8 below, and actual temperature might be 10, but we got a pretty good wind out of the northwest. And as I can scout around here, and I'm going to take you around, I'm going to show you the deer droppings and the stuff. And the sign here now is old. The deer got in, cleaned the new growth off, just as if an ice storm would have brought that tree down, which would be a natural occurrence. They're not sticking their muzzle into a fiberglass feeder day after day, or an automatic feeder coming on sprinkling corn in the same radius where they are subject to chronic wasting disease, because that stuff never quits. It just keeps cycling in and cycling out, and the deer just keep going there. When you cut trees down, that new growth sprouts up. Once they trim that newest growth off, they move on, and that's what you want. Lots of new growth in your browse, because they will. That's quite an attractant, especially here in the late cold winter that we have here in Iowa this year. So I'm going to just take you around and show you some of the consumption off those limbs. Now you notice that's been cropped off. All those limbs that had those fresh buds on it, you can see where it's all been nibbled off, and you'll see that in the trail cam pictures where the deer were in here aggressively eating all these little buds off, and now the buds are gone and the deer are gone. It served its purpose. It gave it a free food source, but I only wanted it temporarily. You don't want them to be here, because as you can see all that crap on the ground, if you keep doing that around a feeder, they're going to be wading in it, and that's not a natural occurrence. All these limbs over here, as you've seen us cut them down and you see the deer in them, they're completely gleaned off and the deer have moved. But there's 4 squirrels up there in that bean field, foraging off of the whatever's left of those beans. And that's what food plots are about. Now I'm going to see if I can approach and get a little closer. I'll keep the camera running, so if they start running, we'll be able to see them scurrying. There goes one taking off. Still 2 there. There goes one up in the, one's under the tree. There's another little guy sitting there. He's probably going to bust out of there in a minute. There he goes. But they're out there foraging on the remnants of what's left over for them beans. And that's food plots 101. Here it is. Squirrels out here in the middle of nowhere getting some substance to eat at what's left of that bean crop. You know, it's cold when that squirrel lets you get that close to it. They're definitely hungry. That's pretty cool. Big old mature bald eagle. The things you'll see on a day out. Maybe as a kid I'd have never seen a bald eagle like that. Here right in Clark County. March 5th. Big old bald eagle up in that tree. deer out there moving around. There's about 15 of them. And real warm day. They're out there feeding on browse. Some of them were laying down there. And now they got up. And they know something's up. So, oh well, I just thought I'd share that midday. It's probably one of the warmer afternoons it's been quite a while. They'll blast out of there in a minute. Now you can see him moving. Ho! 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 That was the time. Oh, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Glad I didn't bump them. It's about 30 degrees today, so it's really a warm, sunny day. And what that deer were doing, they were in there browsing on new stuff. And I can't believe this, what I'm looking at right now. This is real time. This is unbelievable. I'm standing up against this tree, as you can see. And I'm standing here, and there's a dead skull right there, a small shed buck. Could be that buck that deer that I found a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. It's really amazing. I walked right up here and stopped, and it's got some skin on top of it, but I looked down and I could see that eyeball, that round object. So he was looking at me from the other side of life, and that's what I picked off. Let's walk up there and get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 yards right there. Little guy. That's probably why the deer took off in such a hurry. It's amazing I even seen that. When you look around here, all this snowpack, like I say, it's just amazing you see anything white. But I caught that eyeball, that round eye. Like I said, it was just 8 yards away from where I filmed those deer running. And that's not been dead all that long. I pulled that skin hide right off of his forehead where it's bright red, and it came off pretty easy. Yeah, I'm standing right here where I picked that skull up and filmed those deer running. I was only standing like 8 steps from this. And right out there, maybe I can get it in here. Yeah, right out there where that lone tree is, just on the other side of it, is a shed sticking up out of the snow. So I'm going to walk down there and get it. And I know I had one subscriber that said you don't need to step it off, but I do this to educate people how close you can be to something and not see it. Now I just videotaped this snowpack and I walked up there a few more yards, and let's step this off. This is how close this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 yards. And just in a matter of moments, I seen deer, plus I found this shed antler, and it's right here on the hillside, and he's sticking straight out of the snow. Thank God I found him sticking straight up. Let's see what he looks like. Oh man, he's froze. Nice clean little 8-pointer. No chew marks, but boy was I fortunate that it fell off and sticking up like that. Because if it had been laying down in this snowpack, I just want to show you. I'm going to dig the snow. It's been laying like that. Now I'm going to kick the snow back over the top of this. I'll fill that ditch in. This is real time, so this is no hokey pokey. Now you see that I smoothed that all off? There's no trickery to that. See that deer hoof print right there? That's the same height. Had that antler fell flat in this snow depth, you'd have never found it. Luckily, as we found it together, it was sticking out of the snow like that. Boy, we're really lucky. But now that makes you wonder, as you look up through here, how many sheds are you missing? I was just lucky that he fell off like that. Lesson to be learned. And right there is my walking stick. So we weren't that far away from it. I can't believe this. No, that's not an antler up there. No way. Get caught up in that sometimes. Just off to there, I thought I seen a big antler, but that's not an antler. It's just a stick. That's what time it is. And this is the tree. And there's the antler. And this is the tree that I called from, made that noise, wolf, coyote, whatever you want to call it. And what was really funny wasn't that log. I didn't know I was that close. Right there is where I picked that fresh shed up. So anything can happen when you're out here, folks. Just be prepared for that. Well, that's the front leg of that little guy. So they drug him up. Where we found him was up yonder. And this is where I walked in here to show his leg. I consider that a trophy right there. That's a gray squirrel. And to get that close to a gray squirrel, they're quicker than lightning. It's amazing. I've been trying to shoot one with a bow for a few years, but by the time you get the full draw, they're gone. I just want to see how close I can get to this guy. It just goes to show you how hungry these wildlife are. That little gray squirrel, if it would be any time but now, he'd have been gone. But that just shows you somewhat how hungry they are. Because he wouldn't hold around and let me talk and do all this BS and still be there. But they're under a lot of stress. Found another little misfortune of the winter, but only the strong survive. This time it was a little doe yearling, real small jaw bones. Wow. Oh wow. Mother Nature. Like there's an opossum right there. I'm about spitting distance from that little guy. He hunkered down. Another good reason to leave cedar trees on your property. Got a snowstorm coming, and all he has to do is venture over here in the food. Well, there's the time. I forgot to take the time when we started. It was 7 minutes after 12, or basically 12. And that's our find for March 6th, 2019.